Today I want to show you all the things that I travel around the world with a look inside of my backpack 2023 edition. Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by showing you all the things that I carry on my back as I make my way to traveling to every country in the world. Now, if you're not already, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And once you do that, let's start with a look inside of the backpack and take a look at how much this kit has evolved since the last time I made one of these kind of videos. Now, the main change is a trend that's been continuing for years, which is me trying to minimize and cut down the amount of gear that I carry. And a lot of my minimalization efforts are made easier by the simple fact that tech is getting really powerful and more portable. So you're getting more powerful tech in smaller and smaller sizes, which makes it really nice when you're traveling. So you want your gadgets to be able to do all the things they can do, but you also want them as small as possible. But the first thing that I'm going to show you inside of my backpack is a piece of tech that actually bucks that trend completely. And that is my primary laptop. That is the M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch, which is heavier than the previous version that I had and is heavier too. But with that, you get a couple of extra ports, which had been missing, like the SD card slot, and you also get an HDMI slot, and you also get more USB ports. So this being thicker and heavier actually comes with a lot of benefits, and also being an M1 computer means that I don't really have to worry about plugging this in. I can take this with me on the road and take it to a cafe or be working for a couple of hours and not have to worry about having to plug in this laptop. The battery on this is a total game changer for me, and it is absolutely a massive difference for how I travel. Mainly because when I'm going to a cafe or something and I want to do some work, or I'm here, for example, filming something, I don't have to bring that charging brick with me. Even if I'm going to do editing or virtual machines or anything that's heavy processive intensive, I can still do that for a solid 4 to 9 hours without having to worry about charging it. So laptop is the M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch. I like having a bigger screen. I always have gone with laptops with a bigger screen. It's not exactly the most portable decision. I could have gone with a 14-inch laptop, but I like having the wider screen. It makes it easier when editing videos, and it's just nice to have more screen real estate to look at. And because this is the piece of tech where I'm doing a lot of work on, so it's the one screen that I'm going to be looking at the most, that's going to be dedicated to work the most, it's nice to have all of that screen real estate. All right, now inside of here, I also have a couple of things. I've got my microfiber cloth here, which helps protect the screen from the keyboard. If you've seen my video about that, you know, after having this in a backpack for a long period of time, the pressure that's caused by the backpack and just basically being closed, having this push down the screen on the keyboard will leave an imprint over time, remove the coating from the screen. And if you want to then sell your laptop later or just have it look nice, it's going to be really difficult to do that because the screen is going to be all messed up with the keyboard. So I get one of these, which I'll link to. It's a very thin microfiber cloth. It just keeps the keyboard and the grease from my fingers from the keyboard from getting on the screen. So I have that. And I also have this Electronic Frontier Foundation cover for the camera, which I use, which doesn't leave any residue, and you can take it on and off, and it sticks right back there. So that's also nice to have. All right, now tracking back from the laptop, let me show you the backpack. Now the backpack that I'm using is the Air Travel Pack 2. I recently reviewed the Air Travel Pack 3, but I went back to the 2, and I really like this backpack. It's not perfect. It has some flaws there, some things I would like to change about it. But a couple of things that I really do like about it is, one, the overall style. I like that it has a laptop compartment separate here, where I also have a glorious gaming mouse pad. I always travel with a mouse pad. Makes it easier for different kind of tabletops. I also like that it's got an extra slot here as well, so I can put in like a notebook or maybe like an iPad, but I keep that in the front. It's got this quick grab pocket here, and inside of the quick grab pocket, I've got a couple of these little charging cables there. So you plug in one end with a little adapter into the laptop or into the wall. And then all of these you've got here, you've got USB-C, you've got, you know, a lightning cable, you've got micro USB. So these make it easier to charge. And then inside of that, this quick grab pocket, I've got my Bose Quiet Comfort 2, which I love. I love these earbuds. They are absolutely amazing when it comes to noise cancellation. They're so small compared to the version 1. I immediately switched to these once these came out. They are just absolutely tiny. The sound quality is incredible, and the noise cancellation just makes flying like just so much better. I can't fly without these, so I have the with me. You get about 5.5 hours of battery life, which is not bad, and quick charging there as well. And then the quick wrap pocket is just really convenient, so you can stuff your passport in there, anything that you want to just quickly grab and take out. And so, yeah, this is the Air Travel Pack 2. Like I said, I really like it. It's super durable. I've had this bag, this particular bag, for years now, and it's held up really well. I've done a couple of road tested reviews on this, but the nylon has really held up very well. I like that it's got a large main compartment so that I can just organize how I want. It's not, divided, or there's nothing in there that's going to make it, where the backpack is not making the decision for me. So I like that. I like having a big open front pocket there. And I like having this pocket here in the front, which has like an organizational packed here. So you've got little different pockets and things that you can use for that. I'll show you that in a second, but let's get into the main compartment. All right, so let me show you the inside of this main compartment. And there are a couple of things which are going to be sort of missing because I'm using them right now to film this video. All right, I like having these compression straps. Again, another benefit of the Air Travel Pack 2. You open this up, you've got a little mesh pocket here where I've got some cables and some papers, just random stuff, nothing really super important in there. I do have one thing that's worth mentioning is the AirFly Pro here. So let me show you this. This thing is absolutely incredible. It's kind of changed the way that I fly. So this little guy, what it does is you take this, pop this off, you plug this part into like the infotainment on the airplane. So you plug this in, and using Bluetooth, it connects to your Bluetooth headphones, so you can actually use your good headphones if you want to watch some of the movies on the plane. That's the AirFly Pro. Comes in very handy. It's also really, really small, and it's just a really convenient thing to have with you on a flight. So I've got that in this mesh pocket here. And then inside, we'll start with my main camera. This is the sleeve I use, the Metal Gear sleeve I use for that. And I am filming right now on the Sony A7C with the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter lens. That is the camera lens combo that I use. I've been using this camera and this lens for the last couple of years now, and I absolutely love it. The camera itself is really small for what you're getting, a full frame sensor, and the lens is a little bit bigger than I would like, but it's so wide, captures a lot of stuff, gets great light, great sharpness, really, really useful. I just love this camera. I can't say enough good things about it. And then on top of that, here, let me show you guys that I've got a microphone which has really changed kind of how, basically, one of the biggest things that I used to carry with me. So I switched recently from the D80D3 Pro over to this Sony B1M, which is a terrible name. Like all Sony electronics have these weird names, but this is the Sony B1M. I switched over to this for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have to actually plug it into anything, so I don't have to charge it, and I don't have to plug it in with an audio cable into the camera. A couple of times when I've been traveling, like in Belize, there was a whole day where I shot a couple of segments of video, and I realized that it didn't record any of the audio because the audio cable wasn't plugged into the camera just completely. It was just a little bit out, which really sucked, and I lost all of that audio. Is also the thing that I have to do, which is charge, that microphone. This one I don't have to do. It's all charged through the hot shoe of the actual camera itself, which makes it super convenient. It picks up sound really, really, really well. So the D80, I also had a microphone stand, a Samsung MK10 mic stand, which I would have usually overhang when I was shooting videos like in a closed, set like this. But I don't have to do that with this microphone. I can get away with having it a little bit further away, so it's about right there. And I can use editing software to kind of improve the audio quality of this microphone. So it's great. It's really, really small compared to the D80D3 Pro. It means I also don't have to carry a mic stand with me, which is also a lot lighter for my tripod bag. So there you go. That's camera and microphone. And I'm also using I'll show you over here. Over here, I've got the Insta360 X3, which has kind of replaced my GoPro. I use it because it really does what a GoPro does when I put it in single mode, single lens mode, like I have it now. But it also kind of acts like a drone and also a all you can all you can heat camera, you know? So I can have this on my backpack when I'm walking through a bazaar. I can stick it up and have it up high. So it will look like I have got a camera on top, you know, over me, filming me. It looks like I've got a little mini personal drone that's following me. So that makes it really great. It's also very small. I can set this up anywhere. I can set this to record while I'm filming with my big camera. I can have that sticking out of my camera bag, for example. So that's really useful to have. I have that camera. It's replaced the GoPro for me pretty much 99% of the time. So it means one less thing I have to carry. This camera can do a lot of things that the GoPro can do, plus a lot more. So that's great. And that is on a Joby Gorilla tripod. So just a smaller Joby tripod. There's a couple of different Joby tripods. This is the smaller one. I also have the Insta360. I've got the Insta360 selfie stick here, which works pretty well. This is the 6-foot stick, so it's not the longest one. The 9-foot one is great, but it's a little bit thicker and a little bit bigger than I would like, so I don't carry that with me. So I've got the 6-foot one. One thing I would like is like I got to get a strap for it, so if I'm underwater or something. But yeah, great camera, both great cameras, really nice light setup. So now, if we're sticking with camera stuff, let me show you the tripod. I've got also on the big camera, I've got this newer tripod here. Literally, the name of it is the newer tripod. This is the carbon fiber N55C. It has a bunch of different things. It's not a very heavy tripod, which is great. Very high quality. I've used this for years in a couple of different countries, and it's held up really, really well. And I don't treat it super nicely. It also looks really nice. Got different kinds of ball heads there that you can use, and just a really overall great tripod. And if you want to see a full review on this tripod and a lot of the stuff that you're seeing in this video, for example, you can see those on this channel. So make sure that you're subscribed and search around on the channel. You can find out reviews of all these things in depth. Phone using the iPhone 14 Pro. So I've got the iPhone 14 Pro in the purple color, and I've got this Spigen case on it. I always use a case. Got this Spigen clear case on it so that you can see that purple color, but just protects it from drops and stuff. All right, into the bag now. This is where got a ton of things. Case for the Sony microphone, small case for that. If you can see by now, I like cases and sleeves. Everything is in a case and a sleeve, and I do that so I protect it from getting scratches. I don't like my electronics or lenses or anything to get scratched up. So I've got the Insta360 sleeve there. Let's go with headphones. These I use for editing only. These are the Audio Technica MX50 BT. That's the Bluetooth version with the little microfiber cloth. I use these for editing. I like it because I can easily just plug them in. I almost never use the Bluetooth version. I could edit with the Bose headphones, the wireless headphones. I've thought about that because this is pretty heavy, especially with the case. And it's not exactly the most convenient thing to carry with me, but I've just gotten used to that style of editing. But if anything is on the chopping block, it's got to be these headphones because the Bose are great. They work well, and I could probably just edit shows. But again, these you don't have to charge, you don't have to worry about it, and also in its own case. All right, so now that we're done with that, going over to the drone of choice, which has been my drone of choice for the last few years. That is the DJI Mavic Mini 2. This little guy, obviously, it is great for portability. It's so small, very convenient to carry with me. And also, like, because I have the Insta360 X3, I find myself not using this drone as much as I had in the past. And that's just because it takes a lot more to set up a drone shot than using the Insta360 X3. But I still carry this for, city shots, cityscapes up high. It's nice to have, and it's small. I didn't really see any reason to upgrade this to anything larger or any of the newer stuff. It does its job, well, and gets the shots that I want to get. So got that inside these flight path cases, which are excellent. They are just the right size for the drone itself. So I'll leave a link to these two. This is all faux leather as well, which is nice, vegan leather. there. So you can find these at the Flight Path store. They're really, really well done, really well made. I think they're handmade as well. All right, let's put that there. Of course, you got a drone, and then you got the way too big drone controller. So we've got that. I wish the controller could be made smaller. That would be fantastic. Let's see. You've got, can never have too many of these little outlet converter things. We've got that. That kind of switches over, so I can switch from like the Americas to European. Can never have too much of those. And now my camera case, where I keep all my stuff, is actually a toiletry kit. This is the Swiss Gear toiletry kit. I don't know if they still make these, but I have a couple of extra because I like these a lot. They're just about the right size for the Sony A7C, for an extra light, for a couple of other things. So in here, I've got a couple of audio cables, which I don't really need anymore. Actually, probably get rid of those. A couple of audio cables for microphones, some spare batteries for the A7C, a charger, as well as some filters. So I've got an ND filter and a polarizing filter. The filter I use basically when it's shooting outside in bright conditions. I use that filter a lot. I don't use the polarizing filter so much. And in here, I've got my Logitech mouse. This is the Logitech Anywhere 2S mouse. I carry this with me. I always use a mouse. I can't really edit or do anything for a long period of time with the trackpad. So I've got my mouse in there. And then this light, which is great, which is the aperture light here. This is the MC light. What I love about this is, so like if I'm filming, I can, add some light to me. But what's great about this is it has a Bluetooth connection to my phone, so I can just log in from my phone. And then now you see this light. Then I'm going to go into the app. And now I can do all sorts of stuff. Like I can change the intensity of this. So I can set this up somewhere. Like I can go, make it brighter, make it completely off, or something in the middle. I can do a source match. So I can take the lights that are in here, for example, point my camera there, and then hit match. And we'll actually change the color of the light, which is really handy. And if I want to do something like, add some effect kind of to some tech that I'm filming or something like that, I can even change the colors, so it can go from like blue to purple to red, green. You get the idea. So really, really handy. I use just a single one of these. It's also magnetic, so I can use it, like just stick it, somewhere metal if I need to. And really great, connects with Bluetooth to my phone. All very handy. That also, of course, in its own case. Always keep stuff in the case. Let's see what else is in here. That's pretty much it for the camera bag. That's all that's in the Swiss toiletry kit. I always travel with this eye clear apple polish, which I use to clean my screens. So I'll do that like once a week, just out of habit. And the eye clear is the stuff that the Apple stores use. So it's what I use too. And in a small bottle, travel size. So I get the big bottle, fill that one up. And let's see what else we have in here. Another lens cap for the Insta360 X3. And then inside this DJI case is not a drone, but it is the microphone where I record the foXnoMad podcast. This is the Audio Technica ATR2100X. I think there's an X at the end of it. It's a great microphone, picks up really good sound quality in a variety of different environments. You don't need this microphone to be very far away from you, so you can just hold it here. You don't even need really to have it on a mic stand. It's charged by USB-C. Like you don't have to charge it, just plug it in USB-C. Also has XLR connection if you want that. And it's just got a simple on and off switch, and it doesn't pick up a lot of sound on the sides or behind it. It really picks up just kind of what's right in front of it. So if I want to record somewhere, like I've had to do in a hotel, or basically, in an Airbnb or in an apartment somewhere where it's noisy outside, this microphone does a really, really good job of rejecting all of that extra noise around it. All right, continuing on, gotten through kind of the main stuff, and now just a little bit of odds and ends. So if I go over here into the Air Travel Path 2, and I open up this compartment, I've got an Apple Pencil 2 for writing on the iPad. And because I'm old school, I also have a notebook with which to write. So I've got the iPad Air 2 here, the iPad Air. I use this for reading mainly, although I do use it also to write, take notes, but really a good notebook. I love a good notebook. I always have one with me. I always have like just a normal pen, and I like to write and take notes, either about things that I'm doing or traveling, or if I'm going to write a video script, will always take notes, and it will almost always be handwritten. Battery charger of choice is this Anker 10,000 milliamp hour battery. I've had a couple of these over the year. They're really just convenient. The middle charging port here will identify what you have plugged into it. So if it's a phone or if it's like a camera light or something, and adjust the charge ideally for that device. So it gives you a little bit of quick charging. But the larger chargers, like, the 20,000 milliamp hours, those are a little bit too big. So I think this is 10,000 or 13,000. So it's not so big, which I really like. I have that, and it has its own case, of course. A couple of business cards, foXnoMad business cards here. There you go. And inside, I've got two, right now, two Seagate 4 terabyte hard drives. So I keep these with me for backing up videos. A lot of times when I'm traveling and I'm shooting videos, I will shoot multiple videos back to back, back to back, and then I will edit them later. So I put those directly onto those hard drives, and then I back those up to a couple of different places so that I don't lose any of the footage. That's why I have two 4 terabyte Seagate hard drives. And then the laptop is a 2 terabyte laptop. So it's got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Again, really good for having just extra storage. A USB-C cable. I've got a couple of these, but this is my fast data transfer one. So it makes taking video files off the camera, putting it onto your computer very quick. And also it's nylon braided, which I like, so it doesn't get scratched up when it's taken in and out of my backpack. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the stuff that I carry, which seems like a lot. And actually, now that I think about it, it is kind of a lot, but it's also like a portable filming setup, it's a podcasting setup, it's a work setup. So it's all of this stuff that allows me to do all the things that I do while I'm traveling. And like I've said a couple of times throughout this video, I'm still using this or I'm still using that. That's because this hasn't changed a lot. So I've gotten to the point where I really value reliability. I value really just getting good gear that's going to last me a long time. I don't like to make a lot of changes if I don't have to. So for example, the camera works great. I don't really find the need to upgrade it or change anything unless there's an actual need that I can identify. It doesn't have 4K 60 frames per second, so maybe if there was a version, the next version that comes out, if it has 60 frames per second at 4K, that might make me think about switching. But otherwise, I tend to use, my gear as long as I can. I really value things being reliable. When you're traveling, you can't really easily change stuff if it happens to break. And so if I know it works and I know it's going to last a long time, then I will use it. And that's what a lot of this stuff is. There are some major changes though, the microphone being one, that's a lot smaller, the Insta360X3. So things are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And hopefully the next time I make one of these, my kit will be even lighter and even smaller. Because I think the weight of all this stuff in pounds is probably like 40 pounds. So I probably have like 40 pounds on my back, which might not be too great for my back over time. So I'm still working on getting things a little bit lighter. But of course, good tech keeps getting smaller and smaller and more powerful with more portability, which is all great if you travel, if you love to be on the road and you want your electronics to do all the things that you want them to do. So hopefully this has been interesting for you. I'm very curious though. Now it's your turn. Let me know the things that you travel with or things that you would change in my kit or just what's in your backpack down in the comments section below. I'd be interested to see the things you're carrying, maybe get some ideas for myself and steal some ideas from you too. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for watching all these things, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the travels and all the videos that comes out of the stuff that I carry with me. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.